Hi everyone, delonewolf here and welcome back to the Sunday Recap, my weekly vlog where I talk a bit about my last week in games. And as always, we'll start with EVE Online, and EVE Online has been a pretty good week, still nothing really major when it comes to the amount of gameplay that I've been doing, but I'm having good fun and I think that's the most important. So the first part of the week was spent exploring Minmatar space again. I'm focusing on Heimatar at this point, pretty interesting region, although I did park my Orca pretty close to Rennes, and there it's a lot of very high sec, right? 1.0, 0.9, some rookie systems, I think not that far away from Rennes, so there's really not that much to find in exploration. And then there are these two exceptions, which is two Edencom controlled systems where I have found like an enormous amount of good combat sites for a reason. So that is very interesting, a pattern that I'd never really come across, where you don't have at least like a stretch of space that is going towards 0.6, 0.7 with a higher chance of having good combat sites. Well, there may still be a part of Heimatar, but I think it was under Incursion when I first came in there. That has that, but then as a result I found these two Edencom systems, and there lots and lots of signatures, a decent amount of players as well, and of course with all these signatures there, all of a sudden lots of combat sites. The Vigil was there, lots of drone sites with potentially good drops, and 3 out of 10s, 4 out of 10s, everything just in a couple of systems that are like I think 3 or 4 jumps from each other. Pretty cool, and definitely very nice if you want some shorter exploration sessions to find a pattern like that, because I could just jump in my Hila, check the first system, okay, got a couple sites, check the second system, perhaps some sites, perhaps not, and then move back a couple of hours later if I still found the time, went back, same thing again. So very rewarding to play there. Honestly, I got some really good drops again this week. I'm pretty surprised, but I'm making good ISK in Minmatar space, and yeah, that's been a lot of fun so far. Then of course, second part of the week, CCP dropped the winter event, and so far I'm actually enjoying it, although I'm taking my time. I'm not rushing through all of the rewards, although you could do that if you really wanted to just get through everything, get all those rewards done for that track. You could just keep training combat sites, for instance, and you would eventually just earn yourself a lot of points, but I'm taking my time, I'm exploring all the stuff, and honestly really the first part of the track has me interested most, with the skins for battleships, and then of course a couple of boosters, but the last part I'm not. It's frigates and some like destroyers, interdictors, I think, stuff that I don't generally fly. So if I don't make it fully through the track, I'm completely okay with it, and for this event I like it so far. I think that CCP is giving us lots of options, right? You can just get into a battleship, do combat sites, but you can also try to find exploration sites both in high sec and low and null sec, and then you can do some ice mining as well, although I don't like the fact that apparently you always need 7 of them to put into that Orca. I wish that would be doable in individual units, because for instance the Venture, the Alpha mining ship, can only carry 6 of them, so that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. This is not disruptive to the ice mining market, because you can't really refine it to anything. It's very specific or only for the event, so I thought making that accessible like 100% and pretty easy to do for the Venture would make sense to me. But yeah, I had to like bring in 7 of them at a time, and I tried to move them very quickly in a Venture, didn't work, had to go back. So it's interesting. There is an option for miners to earn their way through the event, but there may need to be perhaps a little bit of tuning over there. And what I also like, of course, is that they went with the Storm system in order to bring those together in smaller spaces, so that players are I think a little bit closer together, and I'm sure in low sec and null sec this will lead to a lot of combat potentially. And then you have the filaments to basically bring you into these winter storms. I think it's really cool. The graphics on top of that for me are very nice. I love flying through one of these systems and knowing, all right, we're in the middle of this winter storm, you could say, and we got a high chance of finding the right side, data side, we've got combat sides that we can try to do, and if there's not too many people there, you can really just chain them. You can make a lot of progress very quickly when it comes to those points, and on top of that, it's very fast. Just one spawn, then you get the battleship. That's where your drops are at, so it's super fast. You can do it at your pace, or you can grind it down to just a couple of days if that's what you want to do, and very accessible as well. So I think it's a very nice event so far, and I'm definitely enjoying it, and I can pretty easily see me reach my goals when it comes to that reward track for this year's winter event. So I would say it's looking pretty damn good. Next to that, in EVE Online, looking forward to stuff. Oh no, we should quickly mention that, of course, that the drone change will be reverted because of a problem with assignments or something like that, which is pretty interesting. I myself felt like I would adapt pretty quickly to the change. Just a couple of combat sites where, they're doing nothing again, press F, but eventually I just found my own routine. I think setting your high slots to some quick binds is the key to that. You then just add pressing F to your rotation, and that way I think that it's something that can be overcome, although there was quite a bit of complaining on the change with the drones. I still think it's going to be on the horizon because CCP's goal is to make it more interactive, although there again I would personally love to see that be like a different system that would allow you, perhaps like the fighters in the carriers, that would allow you to also set a binding for your individual drones that are out in space. It would automatically give it a number from, let's say, 1 to 5, and then I would, for instance, just be able to click a Shift 1, Shift 2, Shift 3, Shift 4, Shift 5 for my drones, or F, of course, if I want all of them on a single target. But I feel like it's actually very doable as long as you are not completely hung up on spreading your drone DPS. All it really is one button press to add in your routines for your activities. In PvP, well, it still should work the same way, except perhaps for the bugs. So overall, I myself did not find it to be that disruptive when the drone change did hit, but it's gonna be reverted for now, and then we'll see what CCP decides to do later down the road. And then for my other game, I played that other MMO some more, World of Warcraft Shadowlands. Well, a decent amount. I'm basically still trying to find my footing and my routine there, although I also think that I'm starting to get there. The one thing that's pretty intense, or that I've done quite a bit of, is Torghast, because I did Torghast I think just before the Wednesday reset, and then I actually did Torghast yesterday with a friend. Spent like 3 hours there to do 3 Torghast runs, or 4 hours in fact, I think, to do 3 Torghast runs. There's like a very annoying wing amongst them, but we got a decent amount of Soul Ash. I also got the legendary that I want. It's the one that buffs corruption damage and then also adds a 50% slow to corruption. Very, very nice. I'm not sure if it always works in PvP, but in PvE it is very handy, and it just gives you that extra control, so I kind of like it, and I think that that's the legendary that I'm going to focus on first, just slowly upgrade that with all the other Ash that I'm doing. But next to that, I basically am finding a nice little routine that doesn't take up too much time, too much effort. It does not go into the high or high-end end game stuff, so I'm not gonna do raiding, not gonna do mythics, I'm probably not even gonna do raided PvP. I'm just going to chill out, do the daily quest, keep up with the anima, work on my covenant, and then I am going to always try to do one win in an epic battleground and in a regular battleground, just to get that 500 free anima that you get that way. I get some honor, and I get some, what is it called, the other one for the PvP, damn it, I can't really remember the name right now, but there's another currency that you get that way as well, which was capped at like 550 this week, and it allowed me to buy a 200 eye level ring, for instance. So you can upgrade that by going into raided, getting a certain rating, but yeah, that's not the time that I want to spend in the World of Warcraft. So for now, honestly, I think that is going to be it. I'm just slowly going to play Battlegrounds, earn honor, and upgrade my gear to 184 that way, and then with the conquest points, yeah, that's it. That's the currency. With those conquest points, I'm slowly going to also earn 200 item level pieces of gear, and then you also have every week a world boss that can potentially drop 200 eye level gear, and that's it. That's what I'll be happy with. And next to that, I'll just do the Covenant, make sure I've got enough anima, do my mission table, get free stuff from my garden, which I'm doing at the moment. And so there's lots of activities that I feel will help on the long run, right? Getting your Covenant levels up is pretty damn important. Getting all your conduits, getting all of that stuff in place is just a really big part of your character power. And item level, yeah, since I'm not going to do mythic, since I'm not going to do mythic raiding, I'm not going to be hung up on that. This gives me quite a bit of time as well, because you know, 2 battleground wins a day, that's really not that hard, especially since at the moment it's really working out for me. Do the epic battleground for the horde. I won them all in first try every day for the last 3 days, and then do the non-epic battleground as a mercenary for the alliance, and basically the same thing there. Very high win rate for the alliance at the moment. So having found that pattern makes it pretty easy for me to get through that part. It's a decent amount of anima, honor and conquest, and then, you know, I'm slowly building up my character, filling in the slots. This also removes a lot of the risk for, like, oh, an item drops and damn, I already have that, or you know, I just upgraded to 184 and then an item drops. No, I'm just gonna slowly work on my character, finding the routine that is manageable to do with both World of Warcraft and EVE Online. The one big grind so far is still Torghast, but we did 6s yesterday and that was very doable. I think I could solo that pretty easily as well, honestly. Affliction Warlock, I've got my own tank with me, so generally these feel like they're quite doable, and that also means that I feel like I could just go with 2 runs a week, not even at the highest runs, and then still slowly earn myself enough of that ash in order to slowly upgrade my legendary as well. I don't need to have like a full collection of legendaries or anything like that. There's people that will push for that, for the transmog, but that's like stuff for way down the line that I could do when you'll probably earn like a lot more ash than you need anyways, as long as you don't go nuts on having every single legendary or every single best one for best for the raid, best for mythic, best for PvP. There's always going to be one. You could keep chasing that carrot, but for me what's important is that I set my own limits, that I decide on something that's manageable for the long term, and I think I'm slowly starting to find that in the World of Warcraft, while having fun, of course, which is the most important bit. And yeah, that was my last week in games, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, I'll see you next time.